gotta say, the Rivian R2 is a beautiful car. I love the boxy shape. It's just so cool, and when you combine it with the subtle curves, I think it's just an absolutely beautiful car. This is the Catalina green color, which I think works perfectly for the personality of the R2. It has like this earthy, outdoorsy feel without being too crazy. And I think that's one of the things that the Rivian does really right, is that it feels modern and it looks like it belongs outside in the beach, in the ocean, or even parked at a trailhead. So quick basics before I drive the R2. The R2 Performance Launch Edition starts at $57.99 and has about 330 miles of range. It does 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds and makes 656 horsepower. Later in 2026, they're going to bring out the premium model, which is going to go for $53.99, and the standard version, which should be about $45,000 later in 2027. So I'm really curious to get inside of the interior and most importantly, to see if I can actually lay down flat in the back and camp inside. So here we are in the cabin of the Rivian R2 and everything feels premium. I love the steering wheel. I love the touchscreen. The interface just works really well. Now the haptic scroll wheel is one of my favorite features. You can control the mirrors, you can control the volume, you can control the air conditioning, you can adjust the steering wheel, and they're really cool. They go up and down, you can push them in and out. And I think it's a really good replacement for actual buttons inside of a car. Now, I always love this feature, the 360 overhead and the side cameras. That's just something that you don't quite get in older cars. One really weird thing about the R1S is that they never added any glove boxes. So they added 2 in the Rivian R2 to make up for that, I think. And the seats felt amazing. They had ventilated seats. They wrapped around my body really nice. And I think it was really comfortable. So if I wanted to take like a really long road trip in the Rivian R2, I think it'd be a very comfortable drive. So we have some controls up top here, and the lights buttons were really nicely designed. It was weird, like they weren't an actual button, but when you click them, they gave you the feedback of a button. And then this button here controls the windows. So if you click that, all the windows will come down, including the rear window in the back. So I really liked that. The R2 has the glass roof, which I think has kind of become standard with a lot of these electric vehicles. It's great because you can see outside, but I always wonder about the UV reflecting in and how that keeps the car cool or hot, especially when you're camping. So I wish they had an option with like a retractable cover for the glass on top. Another thing that I did not like about the Rivian was these buttons here, these door handle buttons. In the case of emergency, I just don't trust these electric buttons. It works well and it gives you good feedback when you press down. But yeah, I always just worry if something happens to the electronics inside and you don't have a handle which you can just open, that there can be some problems. Jumping into the backseat here, I had an absurd amount of legroom. I think this is the most legroom I've had in a car in a while. But now let's see if I can actually lay down in the back. Can you lay down flat in it? That is the question. My head's hanging off for sure. But if you built a platform, there'd be plenty of space. Can't really sit up inside. Not enough headroom. So here in the middle section, my head is definitely hitting the roof, so I don't have enough space to sit up all the way. And then if you add like a platform and everything like that, it's gonna be pretty difficult. So here's the dimensions, 3'7" across and 6'5" to the driver's seat. And here's that new spoiler that they added in the back, which is pretty cool for more aerodynamics. And then of course you have the rolling down windows, so you can hang out like your surfboard or something like that. Oh, you just hold that down. That's cool. That's super cool. Guys, we are in the Rivian R2 today, and this is the launch edition. How much horsepower do you have in this thing?
Roughly 660 horsepower.
Wow. And is this the tri-motor? Is this a quad motor?
Dual motor.
Dual motor, okay.
This is our Catalina Cove color. A couple of different options here. Right now, our ride feel is set to moderate. We have our regen. We can toggle between low, standard, and high. Right now, it'll feel, closer to like a regular vehicle because it'll have less rolling resistance. A lot of new EV drivers prefer keeping it on low. And then we also have the option during this drive to kind of switch to sport.
Yeah, I really like this Halo haptic scroll wheels because you can adjust the mirrors with it, you can adjust the volume, you can adjust the temperature, and just feels really good. It's not an actual button, but it gives you a lot of the same feel, like the tactile feel of an actual button. So I really like that about the Rivian. You can adjust the steering wheel up and down and forward and back, all with the haptic wheel here.
Got the 2 glove boxes.
Nice. Yeah, I guess there wasn't one in the R1S.
Yeah, so what they did was they put a airbag there instead. That's how I think we were awarded the top IIHS Plus safety pick.
I see. All right, so I think we could throw it into sport here and see what that's like. So it firms up the ride feel. Does it lower the suspension at all or no?
So on the suspension for the R2, because it's not air, you don't have the ability to kind of go up and down, whereas in the R1S, you do have that capability. But you can adjust the ride feel on the performance model because it has the adaptive coil suspension.
Okay.
So you can toggle between a softer ride, firmer ride, or just moderate. So have a little bit more flexibility in your driving dynamics.
Yeah, you can really feel it with the regen braking when you turn on sport mode. It gets a lot more aggressive when you let off the throttle. Yeah, just cruising down PCH, the Rivian just felt controlled, planted. It didn't feel too heavy, and it was really easy to drive. And I felt really safe with all the cameras and safety features around. So this was just a joy to cruise down PCH. All right, so we're gonna step on the throttle just a little bit here and see. Jeez, dude. When you hit the throttle, you just get that instant feedback that you don't get with internal combustion engines. You step on it, you look where you want to go, and all of a sudden you're there.
Like, speaking for myself and like some other friends, like had Teslas and now we're just obsessed with Rivian.
They're sick, dude.
So yeah, they're a great vehicle, super safe, great performance, incredible like operating system, super seamless for like our Tesla owners to get into a Rivian. They love the transition. It's kind of a cakewalk.
All right, so we're gonna give it a little speed test here once we flip this U-turn. And we'll see what the performance is like. Dude, electric is so crazy, man. Yeah. It's so crazy.
Yeah, once you go electric, there's really like no going back.
So the 0 to 60 time didn't feel as fast as I was anticipating. They claim a 3.6 0 to 60 time, so I wonder if this Rivian wasn't fully charged or if the demo version was nerfed so people who are just test driving it don't push it so crazy, but I don't know exactly why that was a little slow.
You can soften it up a little bit so you can get a good experience for how smooth it rides too.
Oh yeah.
It's a really nice drive.
It's quiet, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so far this thing's been awesome. Super quiet. I love the ventilated seats, the intuitiveness of the screen, and then the haptic wheel. And we're in freaking Laguna Beach. This is epic, man. A lot of people were complaining about the sound system in the Rivian R2, and frankly, I have to agree. The sound system did not sound good at all, especially for a premium car. I think it'd be pretty easy enough to upgrade the speakers, but when you're spending close to $60,000 for a car, you would hope that the stereo system would at least be comparable to something like a Tesla. I do really enjoy all of the safety features in the Rivian. I love seeing all the cars on the display in front of me, so it can detect things that I can't see visually with my eyes. So it just makes it really comfortable and safe to be driving around in the Rivian, especially on these crowded Laguna Beach roads. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on the R2 as an Element owner. I think for an electric adventure SUV, I think it's phenomenal. I really am impressed with how it feels. I love the squareness of it. I love the cargo space in the back. I think if you're just looking for like an electric SUV that can go and be more capable off-road, and you can go and camp maybe in a tent or something, or even in the back, I think it's great. So it has a lot of pros going for it. But the Element is just superior in a lot of ways, actually. Well, the headroom, of course, like it's just completely unmatched. And like I could see a small build out in the back, like a little micro camper, but you just can't beat the Element's headroom. And then the Element also has the tailgate, which you can, cook in the back, which is great. Even the ride quality compared between the two of them it is different, but it's not that different. So, I really love the R2, and I think if you're looking for just like a good adventure SUV, something that you can take anywhere and not have to pay gas, which is great, it's awesome. Like I said, I love the design of it, but the Element with the aftermarket community, the swivel seats, which you don't get in a Rivian R2, the cargo space, the ventilated moonroof in the back and the side windows, which is really cool. There's just nothing like it. And even to this day, it still holds up compared to a lot of other vehicles out there. So am I ready to jump and replace my Honda Element with a Rivian? Not quite yet. Would it make a cool vehicle to drive around as a second vehicle, or to camp in, or go off-roading? I think it'd be really freaking cool. But I don't think I'm ready to replace the Element with it yet. I think if there was somehow, some way where we can still get the same cargo area as you do in the Honda Element in an electric vehicle, maybe a future Honda Element or a future variation of the R2, then I might be more inclined to make the jump. But for now, it's just, the Element can't be beat. I'm just so enamored with this vehicle. I love the manual gearbox. I love the versatility of it. I love the rubber floors. So for camping, van life, I still think the Element is superior. But as far as electric vehicles are concerned, I think the Rivian R2 is the best adventure, off-road, camping, electric SUV that I've ever seen and I've ever been in. So if you're gung-ho on electric and you absolutely want an electric vehicle to camp in, I think the R2 is a fantastic choice. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And if you've had the opportunity to drive one, or you have both, let us know. Either way, I think it's really exciting. I'm so glad I got to test it out, especially on, the first day that it's out. It's pretty crazy. Please check out our channel memberships so you can get access to members-only videos. And I've been posting those more frequently, and then it's also just a great way to help support this channel. So thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Peace.